Last time on Loner Life in Another World. After a neck-and-neck, fierce battle against Tanaka, Haruka finally manages to clinch victory and returns back to the village with the nerds. Everything seems to have quieted down for the moment. But how long will it last? Let's find out in episode 8. The episode starts off with Haruka waking up from a strange cryptic dream involving some strange monster waiting deep within a dungeon for someone. It's a bright, calm morning in Omoi as Haruka bumps into the nerds in the hotel. The nerds were making preparations to look for a rare item that granted its wielder the ability to change anyone's perception and feelings regarding them. Having done his duties, Haruka was finally free to go back home. Or so he thought, as a bloodthirsty class rep appeared behind him. She then proceeds to give him an earful of scolding, bringing Haruka down on his knees, begging her for forgiveness and swearing not to do it again, like the loyal little minion he was. Haruka realizes things won't change as they stand, so he comes up with the idea of finding that rare item the nerds were talking about himself, so he could finally grant himself a ticket back to Lonerville. Meanwhile, Marielle, a massive horde of orcs, is spotted approaching Omoi. Around the same time, Haruka, who was casually strolling to the dungeon, picks up the presence of the orcs through his perception skill. Marielle breaks the news about the orcs at the town hall, where the class rep was also present. She quickly rushes back to the inn to let everyone know about the danger when she suddenly realizes Haruka wasn't there. Haruka, on the other hand, had already engaged in battle with the mighty orcs led by a king orc. The town's adventurers all assemble at the front gate in anticipation of the orc army, unaware of the fact that Haruka had already defeated the villainous foes easily, although the orc king did take 2 strikes as opposed to 1 for the rest. Haruka enters the dungeon, hyped by the vast mysteries he was going to uncover. He stumbles upon his first treasure chest in the dungeon, but it turns out to be nothing more than a dud with useless items. Haruka decides to head back to the village to that sketchy undead weapons trader, since he might have a better idea about where he should look. Back at the village, the patience of the adventurers starts to run dry, as night had already fallen with no trace of the orcs anywhere. The adventurers then spot a shadowy figure passing through the mist. Thinking it was the orcs, they all got ready for their battle that was finally about to go down. Alas, it was just a drowsy Haruka who immediately gets confronted by the class rep for being out like that. Haruka gets surprised upon hearing about this threat, unaware it was the same one he already took care of. One of the adventurers asks Haruka if he had seen any orcs on his way. Haruka casually answers that he perhaps might have defeated them all, shocking everyone. Inside the town hall, Haruka gets thanked by both Marielle and the guild chief. Although this thanks soon turns into another lecture, which the class rep hops into as well, not missing the opportunity. But the reason for their concern turns out to be a strange behavioral change seen in the monsters lately, suggesting a stampede could be in order. With returning back to his loner life looking more and more like a fleeting dream, Haruka vows to get that item, ASAP. It's the next day, and Haruka arrives at the weapon trader. Upon asking, he learns that the item he desired was known as the pheromone ring, but getting it would be tricky since it was present 100 floors down in the dungeon, with each floor guarded by a fierce floor master. This excites Haruka, and he sets off for the dungeon right away. Haruka, however, gets unwelcome guests in the form of the entire class, who follow him there, trying to stop him from getting the ring as they suspected Haruka was up to no good with it. Haruka, realizing their intentions, starts dashing ahead in an attempt to get the ring first. Class rep warns him not to run, but Haruka boasts his maxed out luck stat would protect him, although he's made to eat his words very soon as he trips and falls through a wall. Thinking quickly, Haruka cushions the floor and makes a safe landing, only hurting his butt a little in the process. With just one path up ahead that oozed bad news, Haruka tries going back up using airwalk, but it doesn't work vertically. Searching through his skill set, Haruka activates spatial awareness that gives him a blueprint of the whole place, notifying him of any traps. With it, he discovers the 101st floor. Meanwhile, the rest of the class steadily walk down the floors, one at a time. Haruka proceeds towards this floor, sensing dark magic all around it, finally arriving at a door. But as he opens it, large amounts of dark magic start rushing out of it, revealing a level 100 Dungeon Emperor. The Dungeon Emperor was truly a formidable foe, standing atop the dungeon hierarchy. Even its mere presence strengthened monsters near it. Despite the obvious danger, Haruka's class unites together to go and rescue their dear friend. Simultaneously, Haruka, using his appraisal skill, tries to learn about the Dungeon Emperor's skills, but they come up as unknown. Aware of Lich's adeptness at magic, Haruka decides to go for a close contact attack instead. Haruka makes the first move, but his strike is blocked effortlessly by the Lich. Astounded by its godlike speed, Haruka takes another swing, using his made-up skill this time, but once again the Dungeon Emperor, demonstrating its incredible speed, blocks it. Breaking into a nervous sweat, Haruka pledges to surpass its immense speed. Stay connected, like and subscribe for more fun recaps on one and only Endless Recaps.